Hey everybody, welcome to this episode. They call me Captain Ginyu. And in today's episode, since the last one we covered how to play the game, I thought it'd be a great follow-up episode to cover all the skills in the game. So in this episode, we're just going to give you a brief rundown on what the skills do and kind of how they work. I can't stress this enough, read your damn cards. Now I joke when I say that, but the better you know your cards, the better player you will become. The link to our how to play episode will be in the description of this video. Now let's get into this episode. Now the skills in this block only appear on leader cards. So first up we have Awaken. This lets you access the more powerful Awaken side of your leader card. Now they all have different effects, so you have to end up reading your individual leader card. Next up we have Surge. You have to place 2 cards from your hand underneath your leader card and then read the card for the rest of the effect. And last up we have Wish. This skill can only be activated when you have all 7 Dragon Balls in your drop area. Again, read your leader card for its specific skills. Next up, these are the skills that are going to appear on battle and extra cards. So for the first skill on this list, we have Aegis. This skill can only be activated during your defensive step. It allows you to drop a yellow and a blue card to untap 2 energy. Next up we have Alliance. Now when a card with Alliance attacks, you can switch other red or green cards to rest mode to add their power to the attack. Now we have Arrival. Arrival can be activated during either combo step and allows you to summon a card if you meet the requirements. Next up is Barrier. Cards with Barrier cannot be targeted by your opponent's skills. Next up is Blocker. The skill is similar to a counter because you can use it in the same window. It doesn't stop the attack, it just redirects the attack at the card with Blocker. And now we have Bond. Cards with Bond require you having other cards in your battle area so you can activate their abilities. Next up is Burst. When a card has Burst, it means you must put that many cards from the top of your deck in the drop area. Next up we're going to go through the counter cards. First up is Counter Attack. These skills can be activated from your hand to defend against your opponent's attacks. Next up we have Counter Play. Counter Play is another counter skill that allows you to counter a battle card from being played. And finally we have Counter Counter. This is your way of countering your opponent's counter attacks or plays. Next up is Critical. When a card has Critical and it deals damage, the cards you would take from your life end up going into your drop area instead of your hand. Now we have Deflect. Cards with Deflect cannot be countered by any counterplay skills. Next up we're going to look at Double, Triple, and Quadruple Strike. These are all the same in their base form as they multiply the damage taken. Double Strike is 2, Triple Strike is 3, Quadruple Strike is 4. And now we have the first deck building skill, Dragon Ball. This allows you to play up to 7 copies of any card with Dragon Ball on them in your deck. Next up is Dual and Triple Attack. These skills are similar because they both let you restand the attacking card after combat. Dual Attack lets you restand once, and Triple Attack lets you restand twice. Next up we have Energy Exhaust. If these cards are placed in your energy area, they are placed there in rest mode unless otherwise specified. Now we have Evolve and X-Evolve. You can place these cards on top of a specified card in your battle area. They keep any power buffs and they also keep the original battle card's position. Next up is the Field. These cards act like an extra card because they stay on the field and provide some sort of buff to your cards in the battlefield. And now we have Heroic. If you play another battle card with Heroic on it when you have one in the battle area, you get to draw a card, but then you have to negate that skill for the duration of the turn. Next up we're looking at Indestructible. Cards with Indestructible cannot be removed from the battle area by combat or skills. Next up we're going to look at Invoker. Invoker lets you switch any red or blue multicolor energy to rest mode instead of paying the full cost for any red or blue extra card. Now we have Offering. When Offering is activated, your opponent has the choice to either put a life in the drop area or let you draw 2 cards. Next up we have Overwhelm and Dark Overwhelm. These 2 skills are very similar, but the only difference is Dark Overwhelm requires only black battle cards. And with Dark Overwhelm, the card stays on the board. Clearly adding this later because I forgot to do it earlier. When you Overwhelm, you have to have a set amount of cards in your drop area, and those cards get placed in your warp. Now we have Revenge. Cards with Revenge will KO the attacking card after the combat unless otherwise specified. And now we have Revive. Cards with Revive initially go into the drop area. You can place cards that match that card's colors in the drop area instead and bring that card back to the battlefield, with its skills negated for the duration of the turn. And now we have Sparking. Sparking only takes effect when you have a certain amount of cards in your drop area. Next up is Successor. This skill lets you add up the energy costs of your yellow and green cards and use them to summon stronger cards. And next up we have Super Combo. This is one of those deck building skills. It only allows you to have 4 cards with Super Combo in your deck at a time. This also includes your extra deck. Now we're going to take a look at Swap. When you're using Swap, you can play a card down from your hand and end up returning another card from your field into your hand. And now we have Ultimate. This is another one of those deck building skills. You're only allowed to have 1 copy of a card with Ultimate in your deck and sideboard. Now we have Unique. Unique is a skill that only lets you have 1 of a said card on the battlefield at a time. And now we have Union. Union cards can only be activated during your main phase. Now these all depend on the different and individual cards. Now we have Union Absorb. The skill allows you to place a card on top of a chosen card, then search your deck for the next piece to go on top. The card gains all buffs and battle positions of the cards underneath unless otherwise specified. Now we have Union Fusion. This Union effect requires you to place 2 cards of equal power from your hand in the drop area. In the last Union we have Union Patara. This one requires having battle cards on the field and end up stacking them underneath the card with Union Patara. The card gains all the buffs from all the cards underneath. Now we have Victory Strike. When you deal damage to your opponent with Victory Strike, you automatically win the game. And now we have Villainous. If you play another battle card with Villainous on your turn, your opponent must choose a card from hand and put it in the drop area, and then you have to negate the skill for the duration of the turn. Next up we have Warrior of Universe 7. This skill allows you to play any Universe 7 cards with no specified cost. Next up is Wormhole. This lets you use Overrealm and Dark Overrealm up a total of 2 times per turn. And last up we have Xeno Evolve. Like Evolve, you can place this card on top of another card, but the cards underneath end up going into your warp. Thank you for watching this short episode covering all the skills in the game. Now there are going to be more skills added to the game, but these are the ones that are currently out right now. Now if you can do me a solid, don't forget to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when the Dragon's Nest upload another video. And as we say up here in the Great White North, have a good one and keep her going, eh?